97, I think it was.
Yeah.
That would have been one of her last.
That really changed my life.
Yeah, she's amazing. Can't wait.
For me, I can't remember things before I was impacted by her work. It was like she opened up a door for me.
Auden says poetry makes nothing happen. I reject that. It's my belief that poetry makes everything happen.
Well, if you think of the canon as a line running from here to here, with Saint Banjo at this end and Blessed Les Murray down at this end, then you've got Beige Brown, I think, somewhere about here. It's not because she likes looking down on resentful old men, some of them dead or very nearly dead, but rather that I feel that gravity has got very little purchase on her.
Oh, the Australian literary canon is canon-packed full of cant. Some people have questioned the erotic nature of much of my work, but I just say all art is destructive. All words are suspect. The canon is this great big thing that shoots out fluid. Well, I do that as well, but I don't want to be part of them. This wide brown land does stand on a basis of blood like pants stained with menstruation. Our nation is based on invasion, strained by European annexation. I am not, you are not, we are not Australian. Advance Australia unfair, a transient projected tumescence does tear at the tightness of his budgie smugglers, while sausages sizzle over this white bland land, as we stand in Italian leather on sacred ground, whiten Australian history with Omo and Sard wonder soap, hope to bleach, leach, sun-bleach, beach nation, rinse black out of it, across the hills hoist the neighbours shout, how big is your Barbie? I take a word and then I find another word inside it, a stowaway, if you like, and then I shipwreck that second word. It's curious, isn't it, that tampon sounds rather like tamper, which is interesting as it's one of the blockages that is impeding the cultural flow of this country. I attempt to grasp the teat of domesticity with the fingers of poetry and make it squirt out breast milk unexpectedly. That fluid is poetry. It's an abject and a poetic discharge.
I don't think her poetry is accessible by ordinary Australians. Ordinary Australians are interested in poems about, I love a sunburnt country. Sun coming up over the power lines, the sound of the curlew in the morning. Those are things that I think Australians are interested in, not Beige Brown's breasts.
The uptake of her work, the comments and assessments of her work by my peers has been, I think, overridingly moronic, which is not to say that the people making these assessments are necessarily morons. It's that there are certain forms of stupidity that take a remarkable intelligence in order to perpetuate, I suppose.
I use apparently nonsensical pronouncements to interrogate the mores of cultural coherence, to dismember the big phallus into many multifarious openings that are much more like vaginas.
There was a blockage of some kind.
People often ask me why I haven't been writing. I think it doesn't do very well to probe into creative processes. I think that they're an essentially female substance, and to probe too hard is a kind of rape. Success is intrinsically suspect, I think. There's a whole churning collaborative industry out there that feeds off this idea that to be successful one has to actually produce something. One is born a writer. It is completely beside the point whether one writes or not. A comeback. Oh, coming is such a male word. Perhaps it's more of a reverberation back into the original grooves where I used to get such good friction. It's more of a coming together, a coming within, not coming at all, just an arrival, an already being there, a re-entry.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and I don't know. I feel like we've been waiting a long
Yeah, we've
time.
missed her. You know, she
Yeah.
really, the scene, it hasn't been the same without her.
Yeah.
I've heard her live a few times and I found her really inspirational. Yeah, I can't wait.
5 minutes, Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Beige Brown.
I'm very happy to be back. This is my work in progress. It's called Biological Clock. Tickety-tockety, tickety-tock, booms the stock call of our epoch, profaning the genius of our Dionysus with an obscene call to mummify. Yes, such is the sourness of our new power. The patriarchy would have us drop linked arms to regenerate like starfish, sacrificing limbs that write to implant parasitic progeny, refine not mind but bovine cud-chewing grind, abandon pungent poetry, profess ourselves obsessed with silvery marks that postpartum stretch like born explorers over the original expanse of our lavish bellies, signifiers of nostalgic subjugation to their biological imperatives, phallocentric fallacies, masturbatory mutations, abject arse-licking, while tippity-nippet-patty twixt Vatican and a mad galloping cat frolic the concave clitoral curves of childhood. That fecund symphonic beat, rhythmic transforms woman to meat. List 1, things that are unnecessary. Babies, bustles, golf courses, burkas, biological clocks, mummification. Begin another difficult labour. Break the fraught waters and reproduce your secret self in squirming, squalling, slippery words. Very much. Random. I become the breasted bandit bricoleur of Woolworths, banshee dancing down random aisles like a corn cob.
I'd like to leave things open,
for the time being,
fluid.
I'm not going to exceed to anyone's
Undefined.
unrestrained.
To deadlines or
to
announcements
accede
of
to the demands
when
of
any
the
projected
success
new works
industry
might be
and
completed.
produce things to
I
order
resist
or
all
to
that,
rote
and
or
I
because
instead
it's in the
choose to
newspaper that day.
exist in a kind of
would be to
limbo
essentially
land where
defy
nothing is defined,
everything
nothing is
that it is I am
required.
about. And therefore everything is possible.